Vince Smoke Sanji. This man is a character who's one of the most controversial characters I've ever seen in a series. A lot of people love him, a lot of people hate him, and recently, during the post-time skip era of One Piece, he's been getting a lot of more haters than lovers. I noticed people calling him Sanji because of all the L's he has taken in the New World. And back in the day, it was an argument. Like, I used to see back in the day people argue Zoro versus Sanji, like it would be very tough for both argument sides. But now recently, it's kind of been the consensus that Sanji is the third strongest amongst the monster trio, an amazing group of the Straw Hat Pirates. So definitely Sanji has not had the same receptive when it comes to post-time skip, but I personally see a rise of Sanji to great things, and it's going to be amazing, spectacular, and extra greatness. Now, I mentioned the rivalry between Sanji and Zoro, and the rivalry stems from Luffy being the captain, and most One Piece fan base know that Luffy is the captain, and he has shown that he is the strongest Straw Hat Pirate, though there is an argument with Zoro and Luffy, which I will do a video on in a couple days, because I know there's actually both sides of arguments that people are talking about, so I will do a video on that. But still, Zoro and Sanji is one of the most realistic arguments that people go at it, and people enjoyed arguing these two characters going at it. I remember seeing multiple videos on this back in the day, and it was kind of crazy. And it was like moments where you see Sanji would fight the third strongest villain, and then Zoro would fight the second strongest villain. And you think, okay, since Sanji fought the third strongest villain, he's weaker than Zoro. But then Ichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece, is so genius that he would make Sanji defeat the third strongest villain in quicker times and less damage than Zoro. Like, I'll give you an example. Sanji defeated Bon Clay, but Sanji was not as injured as Zoro, and he did it faster, even though Zoro was fighting a stronger opponent, Mr. One. So it just showcased that Oda knew that to make the argument still stand, he would always balance it out. And I think that's what I loved about pre-time skip, that whole nature of them going at it. But recently post-time skip, yes, that has changed. That has definitely changed, and it's been crazy. One of the biggest fights that a lot of people are angry about, or a lot of people see Sanji as, come on, how are you gonna lose to this guy, is the Virgo fight. Virgo is one of Doflamingo's underlings. We know we had Virgo, Pika, Diamante, and Trouble, the four underlings of Doflamingo, those guys that are considered the stronger ones. And Virgo, let's be honest here, he got one-shotted by Law, and a lot of people thought that the fact that Virgo got one-upped by Sanji, it was embarrassing. But I'm going to explain the whole Virgo and Sanji moment. Let's be honest here. A lot of people like to forget this, but Sanji was not 100%. Earlier on, Nami was in Sanji's body, and Nami was in Sanji's body, and Sanji was in Nami's body. And we saw Sanji, when he was trying to receive Kiamon, he was like, I don't want to injure Nami's body. He was extra careful, and he didn't want to strain Nami's body. But Nami and Sanji's body got an explosion from Caesar Clown that pretty much decimated that body. And it was crazy because when Sanji returns to his actual body, at Law switches him back, he's like, what the hell? Where's all this damage coming from? I can't, like, he felt pain. So definitely Sanji was not 100% before the actual Virgo fight. And when he does fight Virgo, he actually is beating Virgo. Like, throughout the whole fight, Sanji is going in and he's defeating Virgo. But that moment that we all remember, the shin crack, when Virgo and Sanji clashed that one time, Virgo cracks Sanji's shin, and that was a very shocking moment because Sanji his main weapon is his foot, his legs. So Black Leg Sanji getting his leg cracked, everyone was like, whoa, what's happening? What's happening? Now, I don't think Virgo broke Sanji's leg, because that would have been a whole conversation in the future arcs, but I definitely feel like there was a certain damage that Sanji took from that hit by Virgo, and a lot of people were shocked. But we also know Virgo was an armament haki guy who was very well versed in the armament haki. But I do think the fact that Sanji wasn't 100% was the reason why he had that crazy shin crack. But yeah, if he was 100%, I don't think he would have the shin crack, and the conversation would be differently. We saw how easy Zoro took out Pika, so I think Sanji should be able to defeat Virgo. That's just a humble opinion of mine. Now, the Doflamingo versus Sanji fight, one of this other L's in the New World, it's kind of hard to defend Sanji in this situation because it's Doflamingo. Doflamingo has a lot of bodies on him. Yes, I said that. Jozu in Marineford, a guy who's way stronger than Sanji right now, got like stuck in he was strapped pretty much, and he couldn't move because Doflamingo came behind him. Yes, it was a sneak attack, but still, Doflamingo stopped Jozu. You gotta give some respect to that. And we also have a situation in Dressrosa where Doflamingo had Luffy and Law on their pretty much on their tippy toes. Like, he had them shook, and Luffy had to go to a next level Gear 4 just to actually fight Doflamingo, to the point where he actually went up in Doflamingo. So definitely Sanji getting dusted by Doflamingo, I really don't think that was a big thing. Now the whole situation of Violet, people forget about this too. Before he actually fights Doflamingo, Viola is kicking Sanji and he's not fighting back because he doesn't fight women. So he was on the chair and he was getting his ass beat by Viola. So definitely Sanji, I don't think he was 100%. Maybe he probably was like 95% because Viola is not the most strongest character. She's still kind of strong, but she's not the strongest character. So I think he was bleeding, but I do think that Sanji probably was at maybe like 90%. But still, it's Doflamingo. Like, what can you do? Even if Sanji was 100%, I still think the results would have been the same. Doflamingo is a monster. Now, recently in the last arc before Whole Cake Island, Zou, in that arc, it was kind of a funny moment. A lot of people don't take it serious, but Luffy was hyping up Sanji to all the minks and saying that Sanji was worth 1,000 men. You can always trust on him. And then Zoro's like, yeah, if he's worth 1,000 men, I'm worth 2,000 men. And it was kind of funny because it kind of reminded me of the whole Sanji Zoro debates in the comment section we see on YouTube. But it kind of made me feel back during the pre-timeskip days where there actually was competitive debates. So maybe Zoro and Sanji, their debate, the fan base might be still on the whole Zoro stronger than Sanji, but I personally feel like in the actual series, Zoro still thinks that he has to show up to the Sanji, like in a sense where they're around the same level in his eyes, probably. That's why he always says, I'm better. Like, he doesn't say that about Luffy. When it comes to Luffy, Zoro never says about his captain. But when it comes to Sanji, he always tries to hype him up compared to him. Like, that's why they're always arguing. It's hilarious. Now, the last battle in the anime that we see Sanji actually take place in, that was actually a serious battle, was the Judge, his father, fighting his father in the anime. It was kind of crazy. Yes, Judge used a dirty move with the whole wall situation. And recently in the last anime episode, I will say this though, the anime did try to make Sanji look worse than he did. In the manga, Sanji actually looked better than Judge Vincent. In the anime, Judge Vincent looked kind of good. So I think it was just a thing on the whole how they portrayed it. But still, yeah, Judge used that wall greatness and Sanji got dusted. But you see, every single time Sanji takes an L, you have some sort of excuse. And the excuse might be weak in your eyes, but there's always something that Oda puts there, so you don't feel like Sanji 100%, oh, he took this huge L. There's always some asterisk behind that. I think Oda does that on purpose, which I feel like is kind of his genius to it, because when he actually shows Sanji's rise, it will be amazing. Now, there's recently a debate that I've been seeing, the whole Jinbei Sanji debate, because Jinbei most likely will be joining the Straw Hat Pirates crew. So a lot of people have been telling me who is stronger, Sanji or Jinbei. When it comes to Jinbei and Zoro, that debate is not that big, because I'll be honest here, Zoro has a very strong fan base. So a lot of people think that Zoro has already surpassed Jinbei. There has been no clear evidence of that, but still, that has been stated by a lot of Zoro fans. But when it comes to the Sanji fans, not Sanji fans, the Zoro fans, they've been asking who's stronger, Jinbei or Sanji, because if Jinbei joins, a lot of people think Jinbei is stronger than Sanji. So that's definitely a crazy debate, and I will make a video about Jinbei, Zoro, and Sanji, all three of those characters in the future. So stay tuned for that, but I won't say anything right now, though I do think it is a crazy video. Now, one of the biggest reasons why I think Sanji's rise is going to be so amazing is because I believe a fight that is going to be so lit is the Kizaru versus Sanji battle. It's going to be a crazy battle because, let's be honest here, we have Kizaru, one of the most hacked characters in One Piece. Oda's a genius because he made Kizaru so overpowered and so hype. And then he kind of set up Kizaru fighting Sanji because Sanji and Kizaru both use their legs in fighting. Luffy, the Straw Hat Pirates, are most likely going to go against the Admirals. The strongest Straw Hat Pirates are Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, so all three of them should be fighting the Admirals. Like we saw Whitebeard's strongest crew members fighting the Admirals. So definitely, he kind of hyped up Sanji versus Kizaru being foreshadowed at the end of the story. Not right now, because Sanji's definitely not on that level right now. Everybody knows that. But in the end of the story, Sanji should be on Kizaru's level, and he should defeat Kizaru. And when he defeats Kizaru, we're going to have no choice but even the haters are gonna have no choice but to respect Sanji. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be hype. Now, there's also another battle that might happen after the One Piece is found. There's a Gorosei member that a lot of people were theorizing that was Sanji's father initially, but that was debunked by Oda. He broke everyone's ankles. But the blonde Gorosei member, if they do fight the Straw Hat Pirates, we know the bald Gorosei most likely will fight Zoro. We know I personally feel like the one with the mustache will most likely, and the skinny one will fight Luffy. We might see a battle between the blonde Gorosei and Sanji. Yes, I definitely feel like Jinbei and Usopp might take place in this battle too. It'll be crazy, but still, I think the blonde Gorosei and Sanji might have a battle, and it might be an epic battle at the end of the story. It might be cool, and we're definitely going to see a rise of Sanji in this battle, because these are top tier characters. Kizaru, blonde Gorosei, yo, it'll be lit. Now, the final thing I want to talk about when it comes to the rise of Sanji is Rayleigh. And you're probably thinking, whoa, Mac, stop. Whenever you talk about Rayleigh and parallels, you always talk about Zoro. Why even mention Sanji, the third strongest? Are you crazy, Mac? Now, I'll tell you guys right now, when it comes to Rayleigh, I definitely feel like he has a lot of parallels to Zoro, Vice Captain, the Scars, the Vice Captain of the Pirate King, and Zoro will be the Vice Captain of the Pirate King. Both use a sword. But when it comes to Rayleigh and Sanji, they have a lot of parallels too that a lot of people are ignoring. The first parallel I see is that Rayleigh uses kicking attacks. He kicked Kizaru's attack against Zoro, so Rayleigh has been shown that he is capable of fighting with his legs. We also see that Rayleigh is very smart and intelligent, just like Sanji, who's the smartest Monster Trio member. Rayleigh is very intelligent. We also have situations where we see Rayleigh swim from long distances, and even the Calm Belt, which is one of the most dangerous seas that Rayleigh swims through. And who's the best swimmer on the Straw Hat Pirates? Sanji. We saw what he did in Punk Hazard, how amazingly fast he was in the waters. And Sanji defeated a fishman back in the day in East Blue, so he's already equipped for swimming. So Rayleigh and Sanji have a lot of parallels that I've noticed. Now, Sanji has been training the sword, but I don't think Sanji will actually use any swords just like Rayleigh. But still, I think there's a lot of parallels. And the genius of Oda doing this is because when it comes to the old Pirate King crew, we had Goldie Roger and Rayleigh, these two monsters. But what makes Luffy's crew, I think Oda's make Luffy's crew more considerably stronger is the fact that Goldie Roger had Rayleigh. Now, Scopper Gabon, that's a controversial one. I haven't seen nothing yet, but still, he had Rayleigh as his monster. But Luffy doesn't have one monster in Zoro. He has two monsters in Zoro and Sanji. That's what they're monster trio. And that's what make Luffy one of the traits of him actually surpassing Goldie Roger, because at the end of the story, he's gonna have two guys who may be on the same level as the Dark King Rayleigh in their prime. Who knows? Zoro and Sanji, that would be amazing. That's why maybe they both have parallels between this this character Rayleigh. I think that would be kind of cool, but that is a reach. That is a speculation. I know a lot of people hate when I speculate, but I think it's kind of fun with this series of One Piece because this series is greatness. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think there's gonna be a rise of Sanji? I think Whole Cake Island, this arc is gonna be some crazy stuff for Sanji in the future. I think the actual Wano arc, some lit stuff's gonna happen. And I think just a lot of crazy stuff in the future when it comes to the end game. When I say end game, I mean final moments of One Piece. So definitely hype stuff for Sanji. Tell me your thoughts.